It all started in the early days of the internet, back when dial-up tones and AOL were the norm. I was just trying to juggle community college classes, work, and a new relationship with my girlfriend, let's call her Lucy. To save money, we moved in together, and things felt peaceful. One night Lucy invited a new friend over for game night. Her name was Sara. As it turned out, we actually knew each other from high school. Not close, but cool enough to laugh and reminisce. That night was fun. So were the next few. Sara quickly became a fixture in our lives: dinner, game nights, movie marathons. She even brought her boyfriend Jay along a couple times. And Jay was the human equivalent of a broken remote. He sat stiff, gave off hostile energy, didn't laugh, didn't talk, like the room offended him just by existing. Still, for Sara's sake, we smiled and nodded and let him stay. But one night everything changed. Sara called Lucy crying. The kind of crying that hits you in the gut. She asked if she could come over. Of course we said yes. When she arrived, we got the full story. Jay had snapped. Accused her of cheating on him, with either me, Lucy, or both. The guy was paranoid, possessive, and worst of all, violent. When she tried to leave, he shoved her hard enough that she tripped over a coffee table and hit the floor. Sara insisted it was the first time. That it was an accident. That he didn't mean to. But Lucy had seen the bruise. Purple, angry, and impossible to ignore. I didn't see it myself. I didn't need to. I felt like a volcano with no release valve. My fists clenched. My chest tightened. I'm not a fighter. I'm a big guy, yeah, but not violent. Still, I wanted to destroy him. Then it hit me. I didn't need fists. I had access. See, I worked in the administration building of our school as a student employee. I could access anyone's student records, class schedules, ID numbers, the whole deal. I knew Jay was a student. And I knew a very important deadline was coming, the last day to drop or add classes without penalty. The plan practically wrote itself. Clapperboard Part 2, The Digital Disappearance. I waited until the exact last day. I walked into the admin building like it was any other shift. My hands were steady, but my heart was pounding so hard I swear it echoed in my ears. I pulled up Jay's profile. Got his student ID. His full course load. Then I picked up the dedicated phone that went straight to the class registration system. No caller ID, no tracking. First, I dropped all of his classes. Every single one. Then, I filled his schedule with random classes, each carrying hefty course fees. Fees he'd have to pay up front. And just like that, Jay's academic standing dissolved. Now, here's the kicker: Jay was a foreign student. He needed to maintain full-time enrollment to legally stay in the country. Dropping below that could mean immediate revocation of his student visa. I never told anyone. Not even Lucy. I played dumb. But a week later, Sara came home glowing. She had her English class, same one Jay was in. But something was different. Someone new was standing in the back, no seat left. The professor took roll, and Jay's name? Nowhere to be found. Sara watched him argue, sputter, beg the professor. But the class list was official. Jay was out. Sara said he never came back to that class again. And me. I never checked his records again. Weeks later, I peeked once. All those expensive classes were gone. And he had no other classes scheduled. Did he get kicked out? Deported? Did his student visa implode? No idea. But I sleep easy knowing he never touched Sara again. Part 3, The Teacher Who Played Dirty. Now for revenge #2, one even purer. 9th grade. Honours English. My teacher, we'll call her Ms. Iceheart, absolutely despised me. I was a 3-sport athlete and also competed in quiz bowls and math contests. Basically, I was always travelling for school stuff. But to her, I was a slacker jock wasting her precious class time. She targeted me. Double the homework after away games, refused to give me proper feedback on my essays, and flat out told me, "You'll never reach your full potential because you don't try hard enough." One time I asked her if my better written paper could get a worse grade than a worse written one if she thought I wasn't trying hard enough. She said, yes. Her bias was blatant. Unrelenting. Then came the final project, extra credit. Go see Antigone at a local college, write a full paper, tie it into class themes, and submit it Monday. Problem, I had an academic tournament that same Monday, pre-qualified, top-tier stuff. I told her. She said, turn it in Tuesday morning. So I did everything she asked. Went to the play. Wrote the paper Saturday. Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., I was outside her door with it in hand. She looked at me. Cold. Stone cold. I never said you could turn it in Tuesday. It's late. I won't accept it. I was livid. She rattled off excuses. Other students turned theirs in Monday. My mom worked at the school, so I could have sent it with her. I could have written it Monday night, but that would have been cheating, and I had proof the document was last edited on Saturday. She didn't care. I lost the credit. Wasted time. Wasted money. My mom was furious. But I smiled to myself, because karma was creeping in. She bragged that no one had ever scored an A on her final. That her exam was too hard. A power trip. I finished the test in 20 minutes. Then, I used the rest of the hour to annihilate her in the bonus question. I wrote, my favorite part of class. It ending. I learned that teachers can be bullies too. You never helped me improve. You only wanted control. The school is worse off with you here. Bell rang. I turned it in. Sat outside waiting for my mom to finish proctoring a test. And then I saw her. Storming down the breezeway. Holding my test. Tears in her eyes. She dragged me, and my mom, to the principal's office. Screaming. Sobbing. Red-faced. I laid it all out. Every slight. Every punishment. Every bias. The principal looked at her and asked, how much was the bonus question worth? She whispered, 5 points. And he goes, then don't give him the 5 points. I made a 98. The next closest score in all 110 students, an 81. She thought she had the last laugh, dropping my grade weeks later, just barely missing the A cutoff. But 2 months after that, the school changed to a 10-point scale. 90 and up became an A. And she was demoted. Forced to accept digital submissions. Weekly oversight. 2 years later, after more students spoke up, she was fired. F. Climactic revenge payoff, 11:45 to 1 p.m. J never showed up again. Sara got her piece. And I knew I had protected someone who needed it most. Ms. Iceheart. She cried in the principal's office, broken by the very student she tried to crush. She lost the control she'd abused for years. And eventually, she lost her job. 2 different bullies. 2 different revenges. But both ended exactly how they deserved. G. Reflective wrap-up, 13 to 13:20. Sometimes, justice doesn't come from a fist or a scream. Sometimes it's a silent, calculated move that flips the script. That's the kind of justice I can live with. Because when people show you who they are, believe them. And make sure they remember you, too. H. Outro call to action, 13:20 to 13:45. If this story gave you chills, or made you cheer, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more epic Reddit revenge stories. And tell us in the comments, what's your most satisfying revenge moment? Until next time, keep your head up, and your karma sharp.